Even in the budget that was just enacted, we were selling a state asset in order to raise additional funds. We've raised fees, for example, in higher education fairly dramatically in recent years. We've cut programs and we've done borrowing. And it's important, I think, that the legislature have all your options on the table so that you can really meet the state's priorities as you look at how we should balance this budget.
So it's not a situation of where one thing is going to work. It's not a situation where you could raise enough revenue to solve the problem. You couldn't cut enough expenses to solve the problem, and it is a matter of trying to keep everything on the table.
I think just like in our own home budgets, you know, when someone maybe loses a job and you know what your expenditures are going to be, you have to look at all the things in your budget that are competing priorities, set priorities, and try to figure out how you generate additional income, cut spending, or maybe get a short-term loan to tide you over.
I understand. You have got a pamphlet in front of you called Fiscal Outlook, which is put together by your office. Could you take just a moment and kind of thumb through the pages of that pamphlet and tell our viewers about that book and whether or not they can pick up the phone and get one, or whether they can get it on the internet or anything such as that?
Sure. This publication and all of our general publications are on the internet, so anyone can download them. We also provide them to members' offices, and many members
in large quantities, by the way.
Ask for additional copies
Right.
that they may want to send out to constituents. We provide a lot of graphics in the reports to try to make them accessible, and it includes a range of information: what's happening in demographics in California, what's happening in the real estate industry, and again, we do try to make them accessible to the public so that they will help both the public and the members of the legislature.
So does that mean then that a person who's watching this program has the ability to they can go to a website? What's
Yes.
the website address?
Sure, it's www.lao for Legislative Analyst Office .ca.gov. So lao.ca.gov.
And then there's like every other website, there's an index there that if I'm looking for some information about budget, there is research that's been done there. You know what, Ms. Hill, what my experience is, by the way, is that there's not many things you haven't looked at. And so if I am, you know, if I can in fact formulate the question and take it to you, generally speaking, you have either done some research on that, or you can put together some things that give you a pretty good idea or answer to the questions that a person has. How do you have, by the way, how do you have that staff broken down in terms of what departments?
Well, we generally divide into subject area groups. I mentioned a few moments ago that education is our largest area because the budget is large there. We also have a health group, a social services group, resources and environmental protection, transportation and business, and then economics and fiscal forecasting, as well as criminal justice. So on our website, for example, viewers could go to any of those program areas with particular questions they may want to have and query the system, and related publications would come up.
All right. Well, you and your staff have certainly done a great job in providing us with information. As a matter of fact, we probably were your largest customer relative to CalFax. We distributed that publication very widely in our district, and I certainly appreciate your being here today. Again, thank you for being here. And that's all the time that we have today. Thank you for watching.
You can contact Senator Dave Cox at his office in Sacramento. Call 916-651-4001. Thank you for watching The Capitol Report.